Hey everybody, it's Tony with Big T Bariatric and I'm back at you with another video. Today it is Motivational Monday, April 24th, 2023. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far and I hope you had a great weekend as well. I sure did. It was nice and relaxing. I didn't have much to do, so I got to just be by myself and hang out, I guess. Today it is Motivational Monday and I wanted to let you guys know, part of me is thinking about ending these because, to be honest, they get the worst numbers out of any other videos that I do. And so that makes me think that you guys are not too interested in Motivational Monday. I know there's a few of you who are like, yeah, it really helps me out. Please keep doing it. So I might just keep doing it for their sake. I'm not always doing it for clicks and views, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, if people aren't watching these videos as much, then maybe they just don't like them. Maybe they like the other stuff, the more controversial, juicy, Jerry Springer type fat acceptance stuff. But when it comes to people losing weight and doing well on that, maybe that's not the kind of stuff you guys like watching. I don't know. Yeah, let me know down below, and I might even put up a poll later too, just to kind of get a gauge on what you guys want to see, because I only want to make content that you want to see. Again, it's not about clicks and views and money. Like, that's not why I do this. I mean, it's a perk of it. But when you look at the numbers and you see the videos that aren't doing well, you sort of step back and just kind of wonder, all right, do people not like watching this kind of stuff? So let me know down below. Leave a like on this video. Also, comment and subscribe if you have not done so as we push our way towards 6,000 subscribers. Thank you guys very much. So today it is Motivational Monday, and I found this Today Show clip of this person who had lost 600 pounds. That's right, they lost an entire big T, all right, at my heaviest. Well, still a little heavier than that, but this guy was over 800 pounds and he lost 600 of it. So if this does not motivate you, I don't know what will. So let's get into this clip right away.
Welcome back. This morning in our Take It Off Today series, one of the most incredible health transformations we've ever brought you.
Ever. 47-year-old Rafael Zuniga struggled with his weight his entire life.
But something changed in 2011 when he was in his late 30s.
That's when doctors told him he was facing life or death, literally.
Throughout my life, I've struggled with my weight. As a kid, I would eat a lot of processed foods, and as I got older, I started drinking. The more I ate and drank, the more weight I tacked on.
I mean, that's part of the conversation we had last week, right? When I did the Dr. Phil episodes, and those kids that were weighing a lot, like the one kid was 8 years old and weighed over 200 pounds. It's like, seriously, what are you doing to your kids? And there are two ways of looking at this. One, like the Dr. Phil episodes we looked at, that was clear indication of child abuse. You are not treating your kid the right way. You are just engorging them and putting soda in their sippy cup. Like, you are not taking care of your kid. But on the flip side, that's not always necessarily child abuse, as some of it can be the child lives in poverty. And we should talk about this a little more, how poverty ends up creating this obesity problem. And it's weird, like if you don't really think about it, you would think, well, if I was in poverty, then I would be losing weight. Like, I don't have enough food, right? But I'm kind of stuck in that situation right now. I'm not doing so well on my diet because I cannot afford the foods that I was having. I was doing the Ensure protein shakes, and that's helped me get my protein in. And I was getting hamburger patties and chicken and stuff like that. Like, that is more expensive than getting elbow macaroni and spaghetti noodles and potatoes and stuff like that. So financially, things have been really, really rough around here lately. Work is not doing so well. I'm barely able to make my bills. And because of that, and they cut food stamps back big time. So, because when they were doing COVID, they gave out an extra $95 a month, and they cut those back. And so just kind of being in this struggle mode that I'm in right now, financially, I can't afford to get the healthier food that I need to keep going on my diet. Like, over the weekend, I had a bowl of elbow macaroni with a little butter and salt and pepper in there. Like, that was a dinner. Last night, I had like 3 small potatoes. Just boiled them and mashed them up and put a little butter and salt and pepper on there. Like, that was my meal. Like, I'm struggling right now. So, yeah, when you're in poverty, like this guy said, he ate a lot of processed foods. That's what's going to happen. That's what you can afford. That's the ramen noodles that are $1 a packet or whatever. Like, that's the stuff that you're going to buy to fill yourself up, because that's what you can afford. So I'm really hoping things take a turn here for the better, especially as my YouTube channel keeps growing and I'll be able to go back to eating that way before. I'd love to get back on the Ensure protein shakes and keep taking those to get my protein in, because it'll help me work out. So it's like, well, what do you do when you can't afford good food? Like, you don't have a choice but to buy the cheaper crap food. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I feel stuck. But that's what a lot of people feel around the country. Like, yeah, I grew up eating this garbage. I grew up eating a lot of spaghetti and a lot of the cheaper meals because they were easy for adults to fix. They were cheap for adults to buy. And if you're a single mom or something like that, and you're not doing too well, and you, I mean, you know, financially you're not doing too well, like, what are you going to fix your kids? You're going to do what you can. You're going to get the processed food. So those are the two outlets that sort of cause obesity among children: poverty, and then the parents who don't give a crap.
I remember sleeping 10 to 11 hours a day, eating, and then going right back to sleep. By age 33, I weighed 390 pounds.
Oof.
I thought about trying to lose weight, but the stresses from work and overeating kept me from achieving that. As time went on, I stopped leaving the house. I would stay inside all day, too embarrassed to go outside. In 2011, my health took a turn. Suffering from sleep apnea, I woke up one morning with a fever and the sores on my legs were hurting me badly. Finally, my doctor told me if I didn't get myself to a hospital, I would die. When I finally made it to the hospital, I thought I weighed roughly 600 pounds. Instead, I weighed in at 831 pounds.
Oof.
Had lymph.
831 pounds, that's massive. And I say this a lot too in my videos, like, a lot of bigger people have no idea what they weigh. They have no idea. They think, oh wow, I'm probably around 600 or so pounds. And it's like, this dude stepped on a scale, he was 831 pounds. Like, that's a difficult thing too when you get so big that you can't even, like, know what you weigh. But he touched on something else here that's also important to talk about, is just what happens as you get older. Right? It really ticks me off that the fat acceptance people act like that there is no complications, there's no illnesses, there's no consequences to obesity, even though they're currently fighting against consequences, like societal consequences. I did a live chat on Saturday of this lady who wants to be accommodated by the airlines. She wants the FFA to give up 2, 3, 4 free seats if you need it, if you're too big to fit in a single seat. Like, they want them to give it up. They want them to strip out the entire airplane, create bigger seats, put in bigger bathrooms, and allow fat people to have free seating and everything else. It's like, really? Like, you are that entitled that you think that you deserve all those things? Really? I mean, it's just absurd. But then when I look at my own life and I see the consequences of my obesity, what I have ahead of me, it's not just weight loss surgery that I had to do to save my life. I still have many surgeries ahead of me. I'm going to have to get both of my knees replaced. I'm going to have to get many skin surgeries to get excess skin removed. Like, when you decide to go on this journey, it's like, it's a long, long journey. It's going to be years of your life that you're working on yourself. It's not like, oh, I can just change my diet and I'm going to be okay in a few weeks. No. You're going to have to change your diet for the rest of your life, and it's going to be several years of working through the process.
Edema and was borderline diabetic. I couldn't believe it. Everything hit me at that moment. How bad I let myself go, how I never put my health first, everything was falling apart. When I got home, I knew I had to make some changes. So I cut out drinking and started limiting the foods I could eat. I stopped eating bread and instead ate hard-boiled eggs, fruits, and drank protein shakes. By 2014, my weight had dropped to 400 pounds. I was doing sit-ups in bed and being as active as I could, but I wasn't finished.
I mean, this is Motivational Monday, right? Hopefully, if you are stuck in a position where you think, oh, I just can't do it. I can't exercise. I am stuck in this bed. I can't do anything. There's nothing that's going to help me. Hopefully, looking at this guy and his life and what he was able to do motivates you. At 831 pounds, he was bedbound. Pretty close to it. I mean, I know I was bedbound at 671, so this guy was over 100 pounds heavier than me. So he might have been able to get up and walk, I don't know, but he did what he could. He had a starting point that he was able to grow from there. And I don't mean grow as in grow weight, but you know what I mean. Like, he was able to to progress over time. He was doing sit-ups in bed. He was probably shadow boxing, Like, whatever movement you can do, you should do it. You can do it from your bed. You don't have to stand to exercise. You don't have to go for long walks. You don't have to prepare yourself for a marathon tomorrow. You can just start. Start by doing the little things. Cut back on your diet just a little bit. If you're eating a ton of bread and you're financially able to do so, cut back on some of that bread. Like, it's going to be difficult, but you can start making some small changes that will have huge results in your weight loss. And before you know it, once you gain a little more strength and you lose a bit of weight, you can do a little more and a little more. And before you know it, you're probably up and running like this guy was.
When I finally got down to 320 pounds, I was eligible for gastric sleeve surgery in August of 2017. I lost about 70 pounds after the surgery, but I still had problems with my legs and skin and needed more surgery to fix them. In March of 2018, I had my first skin removal surgery, followed up by another 1 month later. I'm finally feeling good about myself, but I know I have a long way to go before getting to where I want to be.
And Raphael has continued dropping the weight. After the break, we're going to meet him and see his amazing transformation firsthand. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Well, before the break, we brought you the story of Raphael Zuniga.
At his heaviest, he weighed more than 800 pounds and faced a health crisis.
Well, now he has changed his life. He has dropped more than 600 pounds.
I think it's time to meet him, right?
Yeah.
Check out his amazing transformation. Raphael, come on out.
Wow.
Look at you.
Come on over.
Wow.
Come.
Did you notice the way that he's walking? It's like, again, you can see the consequences of his obesity on his body as he's walking. Like, some of it might be skin. I mean, they said he did have skin removal surgery, so I don't know. But he looks like he's in a little bit of pain trying to walk. And he's a normal sized. After losing 600 pounds, he's still dealing with it. You can tell there is some padding still in his shirt and in his pants. And just the look on his face, it looks like he's in a little bit of pain walking. Maybe it's back pain, maybe it's knee pain, but obesity did damage to this guy. He's had to have multiple surgeries. It's taken him years to overcome this damage. And he's still trying to overcome it. So if you see somebody like me, like this guy who's trying and working hard at it, like, keep motivating them. Keep at least try to understand where they're coming from and what they're overcoming. I know there's a lot of you who say, well, they did it to themselves. I have no sympathy for them. But honestly, just if they're trying, if they're working on it, keep motivating them. Keep showing them love. Keep doing what you can to keep them going, because it's very difficult to keep doing this for years. It's going to take years to get to where they need to be. It's going to take me at least another year, maybe even another 2 years to get to where I need to be. So keep motivating people. Keep showing them love. Keep cheering them on.
Come on over, Raphael.
Oh, my goodness.
Nice to meet you. So nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you.
Congratulations.
Thank you for being here.
Congratulations. Thank
Watch
you.
your surgeries as well.
Oh, thanks.
Have a sit down. Make yourself at home.
Wow.
How do you feel?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah? You look great.
Thank you.
How much did you lose total?
Over 600 pounds.
Wow.
More than 600.
Yep, more than 600 pounds.
Let's take this a step at a time. I was reading your story. You know what got me was there was a time where you talked about having to go to the hospital, having serious health issues, and you had to crawl into the hospital. Like, you couldn't even really walk in.
Like, I had to crawl down my stairs
You had to crawl even just to get out.
to get out of the house. Yeah, at that time I haven't been out of the house for it was going on about 2.5 or 3 years.
Wow.
So it was a big ordeal just to get out of the house, to get prepared to get the ambulances to come get me.
That's amazing.
Talk about a rock bottom moment. You're having a fever, your lymphademas are swollen and in pain, and you have to crawl out of your house just so that the ambulance can pick you up and take you to the hospital. Like, for him, that was like on the verge of death, pre-diabetic, all this stuff is happening to him. He can't even walk. He has to crawl to get out of his house. And he used that to motivate him to keep going. So sometimes, like, you can't help people who do not want to be helped. You can see it on My 600-Pound Life when some of these people, they're doing it because their family made them do it, or a loved one convinced them, all right, it's time, but they themselves don't really want to do it. They have not hit that rock bottom moment. And you're like, wow, what does it take? You're over 600 pounds and you're in pain and you're dealing with all this. And it's like, it's very easy to get comfortable. You get comfortable not moving. You get comfortable being lazy. You get comfortable just being in bed and being able to watch TV and not having to work, and people bring you food and take care of you. And it's like, it can be very comforting to get to that position where everybody's taking care of you. And so you're going to have to get to that rock bottom moment, even then, when the diseases start getting worse, when the pain starts taking off, before it's like, oh, wow, I really need to do this. I need to do it for myself. I know I need to do it now.
Amazing. Was being in that situation, was that enough to give you the push you needed to, I need to change this. I need to do something?
I was on the road to that, but I just wasn't quite there yet. You know, I started getting all these obesity-related illnesses, and I knew I wasn't getting better, and I was like, well, I got to go to the hospital, because I felt like I've never felt that bad, and I just felt like I was going to die.
That's exactly what I was just saying. Like, you sometimes you're on the road to there. Like, you're not necessarily there yet. You're on the road to there. It's like you do feel miserable. You do feel sad and lonely and depressed. But you're quite not ready to change yet, because, again, there are some pluses to it, which I know is hard for some of you to imagine. But it's like, if you are addicted to food and you keep getting this food, it's like that's pleasure. You don't want to give up pleasure. And I often talk about obesity like a toxic relationship. It's like you keep running back to this person who, you think loves you, and you love them, and they bring you some kind of pleasure and happiness and joy, and it's like, I'm going to keep running back to this person, but they keep abusing you, and they're a narcissist, and they keep physically abusing you, and it's like, you keep running back to them, but it's just not a good relationship, and what you need to do is pull away from it. But once you pull away from it, it's like, wow, I miss this person. I need them back in my life, because with them I felt some sort of joy. I wasn't as lonely, but now that I'm away from them, I'm lonely and I don't feel so good and I feel depressed, so I need to run back to this person. And so that's why I often compare obesity like a toxic relationship, because it's like you keep having to run back to this person who gave you love and joy and comfort. And that's the way it is with food or any other addiction. Like, you got that way for a reason. Like, you became dependent on the feelings that this food or this drug gave you. And so now you're at a point that you can't separate yourself from it so easily. It takes years. It takes years.
I just heard you tell Al that you saw his struggle.
Yeah, I saw when you had a surgical, I don't know if it was gastric sleeve. And I was like, that scared me. So I was just like, I'll never be able to do that. And, you know, it was scary. It was a scary process.
How has your life changed? I mean, there are the big issues, obviously. But what are the smaller, everyday things that you all of a sudden realized, I couldn't do this before?
Walking, going to the store, for anything. You know, I just love getting up to grocery shopping. Those are little things. Getting out of my car to go to get a bottle of water. You know, I used to just have people that work for me go do this, go do that. You know, so I was very dependent on a lot of people.
I mean, that's how it is. Like, that's how it was for me. Like, I could drive my truck. I was almost too big to fit in my truck, but I'd drive my mom to the store. She'd go grocery shopping, and I'd drive us home, and she'd carry in the groceries for me, because I could barely walk at that point. Like, I was out of breath walking a few feet from where my truck is to where my front door is. I mean, yeah, you rely on people to do everything for you. I couldn't wear a seatbelt. Like, I did a whole video early on when I first started my channel that this is the first time I've worn a seatbelt in like 6 years. Like, just, it's the little things. Now I can shop for myself. Now I can take care of myself and clean for myself and take the garbage out and do things that I haven't been able to do in years. Now the seatbelt fits easily on me. Now I fit easily in my truck.
You got a pair of pants over here next to you. These are pants you actually wore.
I wore them for a brief time, but I actually got a lot bigger than this, so I had to. Can I get up and show them?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, at one point these stuff fit me years. Yeah.
Wow.
These are about I think a 63 or 64 waist. A 64
and you
waist.
hit a point where those weren't even fitting.
No, it got to the point where I had to wear elastic jogging pants or shorts.
Wow.
Because
So let's talk about how you did it. We're looking here. You've got toast here. So we've got peanut butter, mayonnaise, jelly. So you don't do any of this anymore, then, right?
On occasion, I do. But when I was in the hospital, I decided that I really had to amp up my progress, and I was scouring the internet, and I discovered an application called Lose It, and that opened my eyes.
It's an app?
Yes, it's a weight loss app, and it opened my eyes to the type of foods that I was eating. I managed to lose about 47 pounds on my own eating diet food and guessing what I was eating. So I guess through all the search engines of trying to how to lose weight, because I was desperately looking for some type of inspiration. I thought something was wrong with me that was keeping me from losing weight. But when I discovered the app, Lose It, it showed me that I was eating salads already, but it was showing me how many calories were actually in a serving of salad dressing. And there's never a serving. A serving is like a tablespoon.
Right.
It's always like, you just pour it on.
Yeah.
I mean, that's very common for big people. They have no idea why they're not losing weight. Because they can try and keep failing, and they're like, I don't understand. Why isn't the scale moving? That's very common. Like, because you don't really realize what you're eating. Like, you can think you're eating a healthy salad, but a serving size is a little tablespoon or a teaspoon of dressing. And who eats that much dressing on their salad, right? Like, I remember times I'd have salads and I'd be like, oh, this is healthy. I'm doing great. And I'd like guzzle the ranch dressing on my salad. And it's like, that's 500, 600, 700 calories worth of ranch dressing on my salad. That's not healthy. That's not healthy at all. So if you're struggling, I think there's something wrong with me. I can't lose weight. Like, you're going to have to get to a point where you start tracking what you're eating. I highly recommend MyFitnessPal. It's a great app. You can just put in there what you're eating, how much you're eating. It tells you how many calories it is, how much fat, how many carbs, all these things. And if you want to lose weight slowly, that's a great way to do it too, because you can put your weight in there and it'll track it to where you're losing 1 to 2 pounds a week, which is what is normal. If you're super morbidly obese like I was, you're 600 pounds, then you don't necessarily need to follow that, because you probably need to lose weight a little faster than that. It'll give you like 4,000 calories to eat in a day, 3,000 calories, something like that, because it's like they want you to lose weight slowly. But you could easily eat 2,000 calories a day, 1,500 calories a day, and still lose a pretty good amount of weight. But yeah, start tracking what you're eating. You would be appalled at the amount of sugar and fat and calories and carbs that are in certain foods that you think might even be healthy foods. Oh, excuse me.
Same thing with butter. They'll tell you a tablespoon of butter is 100 calories, but you put 3 or 4.
What'd you swap it with?
Well, I started, it showed me to open my eyes and eat smart, and I didn't have to starve myself. So
Boiled eggs,
hard-boiled eggs, avocado, a lot of rotisserie chicken, baked chicken. I eliminated carbs for a long time as far as like eating breads.
Right.
No pasta.
No. I was really strict on that. I stopped drinking alcohol for like about a 2.5 year period, because that was a big part of the problem with losing weight, because I drink so much.
What is your advice for people who are trying to take that first step? Because I'd imagine, day one, okay, you start eating healthier, but you're not going to see progress day one. I mean, it's a long-term thing.
Have faith and drink a lot of water. I mean, when I say a lot of water, I drink probably over 1 gallon of water a day. Before I even start my day, I got at least 3 bottles of water by my bedside, and I chug away before I even get out of bed.
What's your relationship now? How has it improved with your girl and your family members? Because I remember seeing my son seeing an old picture of me and said, "Who's that with Courtney?" And I said, "That's Daddy."
Well, my daughter's very happy that that I'm very mobile and stuff. She's a little more cranky now because I've lost, I don't know, it's because I lost weight. Well, maybe just the stresses of everything because of life, she's getting older. But my daughter's very happy, with my mobility. That was a huge thing for me, just to be walking around. I walked over here to the show before. It was like take a cab and, everything was drive. No walking at all for me.
Well, good for you. You should be proud. You look amazing, and you're an inspiration for other people.
Thank you.
As well, Raphael. Thank you so much. For more on Raphael's story and to see other incredible Take It Off Today transformations, head to thirdhourtoday.com. We'll be right back.
All right, so that was today's Motivational Monday video. I hope you got something out of it. Again, if you're struggling and you need some help losing weight, we have a Discord. You can send me an email, bigtbariatric@gmail.com. We have a Facebook. A lot of people message me on Facebook. I mean, there's lots of ways to get a hold of us, get a hold of our group, especially on Discord. It's not as active as it should be. We have over 100 members in there, but most of them haven't said anything yet. So if you want to be part of an active Discord, there are some people in there who do comment, though, and we get people messaging every day. There's all kinds of channels. We probably need to cut it back a little bit, though, because there's too many channels. But yeah, come on in, say hello, like ask advice. There's places to vent if you need to vent. There's mental health helps in there. There's diet, there's exercise. Like if you need encouragement, even artsy stuff. So if you're very big into drawing or taking photographs or whatever, and you just want to show off some stuff, like you can do it. Like we have some great channels in there for you in our Discord. The links are down below. If you want to financially support the channel, help me out, help the channel out, keep us going. Also, there's links to my PayPal and to join Patreon. I should be getting more Patreon content up this Wednesday. Speaking of Wednesday, it's Big Talks with Big T again at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm going to have my friend Derek Hanish. He's going to come on with me. He's been a good friend of mine for a lot of years, and he's recently decided that he's going to have bariatric surgery, and he wanted to ask me a bunch of questions, and he was like, wow, why don't we do a live show where I get to ask you these questions and you get to answer them and have it be on the live stream? So I'm like, that's great. So this Wednesday, Derek Hanish is going to be on. He's going to ask me all kinds of questions about weight loss surgery. But anyways, I hope you have a great rest of your day. I love you all. God bless you.